For 48 hours she said nothing. No Instagram story. No press release. No TPUSA statement. No lawyer's carefully worded response. While the internet replayed her crying on a loop, while accounts called her diabolical and staged and performing, while a selling Sunset star decided a woman fleeing a shooting was the right target for a joke, Erika Kirk was silent. And then on Monday, April 27, she stated in a recent post on X Saturday, was yet another traumatic example of the evil in our country and the continued rise in political violence. I'm taking time to spend with my family. I will be joining the Charlie Kirk Show Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time to briefly address what took place. Enough is enough. That was the whole message. 3 words that could mean 100 different things, aimed at the shooter, aimed at the internet, aimed at the political violence that has now touched her life twice in 7 months. 3 words that landed harder than any press conference ever could. But she also said something else. Something that tells you exactly how she has decided to carry herself through the worst week of her public life. Welcome to the Marquee Report. This is the story of what Erika Kirk said, and more importantly what she chose not to say. Let's get into it. Let's read what she actually wrote, because in a story this emotionally charged every word matters. Erika, 37, wrote via X on Monday, April 27, Saturday, was yet another traumatic example of the evil in our country and the continued rise in political violence. I'm taking time to spend with my family. I will be joining the Charlie Kirk Show Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time to briefly address what took place. Enough is enough. 4 sentences. Count them. 4 sentences after 2 days of silence. After being called diabolical. After being told her tears were fake. After being mocked by a reality television star. After hiding under a table in a ballroom, while a gunman with multiple weapons attempted to breach security at an event attended by the President of the United States. 4 sentences. Now look at what those sentences do and do not do. She calls Saturday traumatic. She does not call it the worst night of her life, even though it objectively was one of them. She references political violence broadly. She does not name her attackers online. She says she is spending time with her family. She does not explain what that means or how she is doing. She announces a Wednesday appearance on the Charlie Kirk Show. She does not give a preview of what she will say. And then, enough is enough. That is a statement designed to close a door rather than open one. To signal that she has absorbed the hit, and is choosing not to fight about it publicly. To tell anyone watching that she is not going to spend her energy responding to people who slow motion analyzed her tears at a shooting. In a media environment where everyone is expected to either defend themselves aggressively or disappear entirely, Erika Kirk chose a third option. She acknowledged the reality of what happened. She set a boundary around her family. And she moved forward. For anyone who missed the full picture of Saturday night, let's establish exactly what Erika Kirk experienced at the Washington Hilton on April 25. During the annual Saturday, April 25 event, meant to celebrate the First Amendment, shots rang out after a 31-year-old gunman rushed a security checkpoint outside the Washington Hilton ballroom. The shooter, who was later identified as a California man, engineer and part-time teacher, was swiftly apprehended. He was arraigned on Monday charged with 2 federal gun crimes and 1 charge of attempting to assassinate President Trump. Attempting to assassinate President Trump. That is not a minor security incident. That is a man who traveled from Los Angeles to Washington with a shotgun, a handgun and several knives, checked into the hotel a day or 2 before the event, and attempted to breach a security checkpoint to get to the people inside. A Secret Service agent was shot in the chest during the incident, but survived thanks to his ballistic vest. He was released from the hospital that evening. President Donald Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, and other prominent members of the Trump administration were all swiftly evacuated. And Erika Kirk, who attended as the CEO of Turning Point USA, as a figure at the center of the conservative political universe, as the widow of a man shot and killed at a public event 7 months ago, was in that ballroom when the shots rang out. Shortly after the shooting, footage of Erika went viral showing the widow crying as she left the premises, while telling security personnel, "I just want to go home." CNN also reported on Saturday night that she could be seen crying as the chaos unfolded, with news anchor Sarah Sidner saying on air that she personally witnessed Erika exiting the main ballroom while expressing her desire to leave the building. Sarah Sidner, a veteran CNN anchor who has covered wars, disasters, and some of the most significant news events of the last decade, witnessed it in person and reported it directly. This was not a rumor. This was not manufactured. A woman who buried her assassinated husband 7 months ago walked out of a building where shots had been fired in tears, saying she wanted to go home. Now let's talk about what certain corners of the internet decided to do with that footage, because it is important to name it clearly. One account posted a video claiming to analyze the timing of her tears, calling her diabolical and an actor, and a bad one at that, while claiming she never lets a real crisis go to waste if she can squeeze a drop of sympathy out of it for optics. In the posters telling the movement died with Charlie, and now we are just left with the Erika Kirk Variety Hour. That framing primed the reaction. Underneath, commenters picked apart her behavior frame by frame, insisting they could see calculation where others might see shock. And then came the line that perhaps best captures how low this discourse had sunk. Selling Sunset star Christine Quinn wrote via X, Erika Kirk leaving the White House Correspondents' dinner in tears, saying, "I just wanna go home." Girl, you literally never been home. A reality television star mocking a widow for crying at a shooting 48 hours after her husband's assassin is still awaiting trial. Following the shooting, opponents seized on the moment, arguing that her earlier remarks about America being safe under Trump had been undermined by events unfolding around her. Some used the viral footage to highlight what they saw as a contradiction between rhetoric and reality. There is a legitimate political conversation to be had about public safety messaging and political reality. That conversation deserves to happen in good faith. It does not require mocking a woman's tears at a shooting to make the point. The cruelty did not go unchallenged. You people are absolutely sick. Whatever you think or feel about her, remember that her husband was killed on camera, and their children will forever live without a father, one commenter wrote. Another pleaded, "Stop bullying Erika. Just stop. You are almost subhuman at this point. Leave her alone." A third wrote, "Can you imagine how difficult going through this type of threat would be? Knowing she lost her husband and knowing her children cannot lose her too." That last sentence is the one that matters most. Her children cannot lose her too. That is the thought running through Erika Kirk's mind at every public appearance she makes, not strategy, not optics, not political positioning. Whether she is going to come home to the 2 children who already lost their father. Erika's husband was assassinated while speaking at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah on September 10, 2025. He was 31 years old. A 22-year-old man was later apprehended in connection with the shooting and charged with aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. He has yet to enter a plea. The man who killed Charlie Kirk has not yet entered a plea. The man who tried to kill the president on Saturday has just been charged. And Erika Kirk is in the middle of both stories, not by choice, not by design, by the fact of who she is and who she lost and who she has become in the 7 months since. Here is where everything stands right now. Erika Kirk broke her silence on Monday. She called Saturday traumatic. She said she is spending time with her family. She announced a Wednesday appearance on The Charlie Kirk Show. She said enough is enough. The shooter was arraigned Monday, charged with 2 federal gun crimes and 1 charge of attempting to assassinate President Trump. The Secret Service agent who was shot is home and recovering. The president is safe. The investigation is ongoing. And somewhere in all of this, the charged political climate, the online PAL-ONS, the conspiracy theories, the reality TV star jokes, the slow-motion tear analysis, there are 2 children whose father was killed 7 months ago, whose mother hid under a table on Saturday night at a black tie dinner, and came out the other side still standing. Erika Kirk said 4 sentences on Monday. She could have said 100 more. She chose 4. That choice, the restraint, the brevity, the refusal to take the bait, might be the most revealing thing she has done since September 10th. This has been the Marquee Report. Subscribe and hit the bell. This story is not over, and we will be here for every development. See you on the next one.